At last, the firstborn of beloved Queen Atlanta.
Wait!
Please. I knew her.
Well, that makes one of us.
When my parents fought in the wars, she took me in.
What a saint.
You dare speak of Queen Atlanta that way?
Your queen left me on my father's doorstep and never gave me another thought.
Your mother left you to save your life. Cannot imagine how it hurt her. What it cost her. But you're not a defenseless child now. It would have been her responsibility to follow that monster to the surface and stop it. Now, it's yours.
Then I'm gonna need something from you.
What's up YouTube, happy Comic-Con week, and already news is popping and it's only Monday. So we know on Saturday, Hall H, we will be getting the first Aquaman official trailer. But the Shazam tease trailer has already dropped online, but it's potato quality. So we'll be doing a video on that later in the week. There's no point talking about it, but it does look interesting based on what we've seen already. Let me know in the comment box down below, have you watched it and do you like it? So a couple of days ago, we got a first look of the director sharing an image of him editing what looks like the Aquaman movie, saying putting the hours in or something like that, and it absolutely blew up. So we've got a pretty cool image of the first Aquaman movie poster, which does look pretty cool, and it says home is coming, which is interesting because if you're not a comic book fan, you won't really know what home is coming. You wouldn't really know what the home is. You could draw similarities to the Finding Nemo poster and Finding Dory, because it does look pretty identical to that. But personally, I think it's totally amazing balls, and it looks stunning, and you kind of get the horror deep vibe that James Wan is bringing to it with the sharks and everything looking pretty hardcore. And this movie will suffer because they've started to market the movie so late. Why is it going to suffer? Because it's coming out at Christmas, end of the year, when everyone's off work. Well, most people are, so it's the hardest time of the year to bring out a movie. And what's coming out at the end of the year? Mary Poppins Returns and Bumblebee, which is part of the Transformers franchise. So I feel like because both their movies have already had the first trailer, they're already tailing behind. But this channel is comic book based, so I don't really think that's going to affect them. But it is coming off the back of the Justice League movie. Granted, the Wonder Woman movie was perceived to be pretty good and did well at the box office, but this is part of the new vision with the new, obviously, top of DC Universe being Ahmed Walter, I believe his name is. It's not part of the kind of Jeff Johns' reign that, in my opinion, kind of ruined it. So that's pretty cool. So guys, what do you think about this poster? There isn't much more to say about the poster, but there is a lot of information coming out about the backstory, set visits from obviously Australian Gold Coast when certain journalists were allowed to go over there. I'm going to go briefly over some pretty cool findings of a specific kind of journalist went out there. I will link everything down below. So this is in his words. The film is an origin story that will see Arthur Curry Aquaman at 4 different stages in his life, with his present self leading the main focus of the story, while the younger versions are told in flashback. The film draws heavily from Jeff Johns' New 52 era as Aquaman, which is pretty cool. The vibe of the film is said to be an epic adventure film in the vein of the Raiders of the Lost Ark, mixed with the romancing the stone. 2/3 of the movie is going to be placed underwater, which is absolutely insane. The director James Wan pursued making Aquaman after Fast and Furious 7 and wanted to turn all the elements of the Aquaman that people typically made fun and turn it on its ear and scare the shit out of the audience, which does sound pretty cool. A horror film underwater with Aquaman does sound pretty awesome, but seeing as it's not officially been rated, I can't see it being horroristic. I can see it having a horror vibe. So the film will see Arthur and Mera on their journey to find the king of Atlantis trident while being pursued by Orb and Black Manta. Arthur must prove his worth to find the trident, which would ultimately make him the king of Atlantis. One, obviously the director credits Zack Snyder for casting Momoa as Aquaman, calling it a stroke of genius as no one would make a more fun Aquaman than his role. Aquaman grows up feeling like his mum abandoned him, becomes an angry drifter, growing up in Amnesty Bay Marine with his father. There's some flashback scenes where Arthur visits the Boston Aquarium on a field trip and is being bullied when he suddenly finds the fish in the aquarium rallying to him. This is where he begins to discover that yes, just like Bruce Wayne said in the Justice League movie, he can talk to fish. This prompts Arthur to confront his father about what happened, and he reveals that he is part of the Atlantean and shows him his mother's trident, which he eventually takes and uses in the Justice League movie. So like I said, guys, this is a short, brief kind of what happened on the set tour. It does seem like a pretty cool movie. I will link it in the description box down below. What I read there is from a pretty cool website that I get a lot of information from at times, so I will link it down below. Guys, let me know, what do you think of the first look of the actual movie? It does seem pretty cool. I really hope the trailer that's coming out is absolutely going to be insane. Any comments down below, guys? I'm going to try and bring more videos like this, talking about first looks, first reactions, them kind of videos all week long for the Comic-Con stuff. So anyway, guys, I will catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch you later.